Alright guys, it is week number 3 that we're working on AZIMUTH24 nautical models. So I'm excited this week. I feel a bit like a kid on Christmas morning. Let me show you why. So last week we got this enclosure all built out here, and this week, look at that, we got all our goodies in. We got a second 3D printer, we got a vacuum chamber, resin pouring equipment, all the stuff we're gonna need to start making some of our products. So I'm excited. I'm gonna start getting all this stuff unboxed. I'll take you guys along for the ride, and then I'll show you what we're working with. All right, we're making some progress here. This is printer number 1. This is what I've been making all the prototypes on. We still got printer number 2 to set up there. But this is the fun part here. We got our UPS, or uninterruptible power supply, battery backup in, and then we got our temperature control system here. So what this is a thermostat. So it's got a high and a low threshold. So when it gets too cold in here, this little space heater is going to kick on just momentarily to warm this space back up. I don't think we'll have any problem keeping it warm because the printers put out some heat as well. And then when it gets too hot, this little fan up in the top corner, exhaust fan, is going to kick on and pull some of that hot air out. All right, check this out. So we got lots of heating elements, electronics running in here. So this is our cheap insurance policy. These are automatic fire extinguishing balls. So if they get too hot, if a flame touches them, the skin melts, and then they're full of dry powder with explosive charge. So they'll blow up in there and fill the space with dry powder. So just a cheap insurance policy, since this is gonna be running unattended. Alright guys, we were making some serious progress. Take a look at this. Got the second printer up and running here. It's doing a calibration print right now. Got printer number 1 up and going again. We moved it from the house. It is printing Lake Huron right now. That 16-inch version of Lake Huron. 2 printers up and running. Got the filament for printer number 1 here. Gonna do the same for number 2, where it runs up through the table. Save us some counter space. And then over here, I'm going to start working on building out our resin pouring area. Alright guys, we got the vacuum chamber all set up here. I'll show you what this is going to do. This will be for pulling air bubbles out of our resin. Make sure we have some nice clear molds. I'll show you there, pulling a vacuum. So we'll put the resin inside here before we pour it, and allow the vacuum to pull all those small air bubbles out. We've got both printers up and running well, all calibrated. I'm going to leave number 1 running here overnight. It's doing a big 16-inch Lake Huron print. Take a total of about 5 to 6 days, but we'll leave that running overnight. I'm going to check back in on these guys tomorrow, and I'll let you know how they're doing. Scratch that. Printer number 1 just started having some issues right as I was leaving, unfortunately. So I'm just going to turn them all off for tonight, and we'll come back tomorrow, continue getting them tuned in. All right, good morning guys. We are back down here at the shop before the workday starts. Last night we were having some issues with printer number 1. I think I figured out what was causing it, some leveling issues. So got it all calibrated. We're gonna fire them back up and see if we can get them running for the day. We got them rolling. We got printer number 1 working well. This guy, we got started again on that big Lake Huron model. Took about 5 days. Printer number 2 here, we got up and running. It's printing some parts. Printing another set of these filament rollers, so we can use the big rolls we'll store under the table here, a little bit more efficient. So up and running. I gotta go to work for the day, but we will check in on these guys this evening, see how they're doing. Alright guys, the printer we left this morning's been running for about 8 hours now. It's doing really well. Let's take a look. This is printer number 1 here. That big Lake Huron 16-inch print. Everything is cranking away nicely. Super happy with how everything's turning out. The new guy here, looks like we got all dialed in, tuned in. So it's doing a small Lake Ontario print. Just got started there. Our temperature control system as well is holding really nicely between the little space heater in there and our exhaust fan. So overall, very happy with how everything's turning out so far. I got a few lakes, a few prints that I had done previously. I'm gonna get those clear coated tonight, do just a tough enamel on there, and then we can do the resin pouring tomorrow, hopefully. So I'll catch you guys then. And that's gonna cure overnight. Come back tomorrow and start doing some resin pouring. All right guys, so we just pulled up down here at the shop last night. We left the printers running overnight. First time alone, so I was a little nervous. I had to leave them, but we're gonna go check in, see how they're doing. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Printer number 2, got Lake Ontario model done, beautiful. And printer number 1, still cranking away on that big Lake Huron, amazing. All right guys, I'm super thankful and quite relieved that everything ran well overnight. So we also got our 3 Lake Superior models that we put that clear coat on last night. They are dry, so all good to go. I got some more I'm gonna clear coat today. I got these paint cones underneath that I 3D printed. I'm gonna go ahead and print up a few more of those just to start the day out. We'll do that here on number 2, just so we can have some more of those in stock. After that, we'll start with some resin pouring and we'll get another lake printed here. Alright guys, paint cones are getting started. I'm gonna get this area right here cleaned up, set up, and we'll start doing the resin pour on some of our first production models. Alright, so part of what we're gonna do to prep this area is coat the surface in this product called tuck tape. Basically what that is, it's a polypropylene tape, meaning the resin will not stick to it. That way we'll coat it, and then if we have any spills or anything like that, we won't have to worry about the resin bonding to the MDF board here. Alright guys, got the resin pouring station here all set up, getting ready to do our first production resin pour. So a little nervous, but hey, gotta start somewhere. So I'm gonna film it, we'll see how it goes. Here goes nothing. Hopefully something. Alright guys, there's the final pour. Take about 24 hours to cure. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other 2 lakes. Alright, so we got the rest of the Lake Superior models poured. Mostly good. They do have some minor imperfections I'm not super happy with, so I went ahead and started some more Lake Superior prints. I'm gonna try and redo these. I want to make sure we're really launching with a high quality product to start. So unfortunately that does mean some trial and error with the creation process and figuring out systems that work. But is what it is. So the next few days are going to be a little crazy. I got a lot of work to do for the cleaning business. So I'm just going to do some resin pours in between jobs if I have a chance. I'll check in with you guys in a few days and I'll update you on where we're at. It is the end of week 3 working on AZIMUTH24. This week was a little crazy with the cleaning business. I apologize to you guys. I didn't have time to do a whole lot of filming, but let me show you where we're at. So we made some serious progress. We got a bunch of resin pours done. Still got a few to go and a few that need to be redone, but definitely making some progress. Prints are running. You guys remember we started this one at the beginning of the week. 133 hours later. That one is done. So making progress. I'm gonna try and get the rest of these lakes, the resin pour done over the weekend. And then hopefully next week we'll be able to finalize our website, social pages, get all that side of things done and get this business live, up and running. So looking forward to it. Stay tuned, subscribe as we seek to do business honestly here on Salty Nomad. We'll see you guys next week.